everyone, welcome back if you've been here before. If not, welcome to my channel. This is episode 1 of Fill That Sketchbook, and I have never filled a sketchbook, so I have decided to create my own challenge to fill a sketchbook, and I would love if you guys wanted to participate. So if you do, you can use hashtag Fill That Sketchbook, or you can tag me at Christie Drahnak on Instagram. So over there, you'll find in the comments below, I'll list everything. So if you want to follow along or join the fun. So my goal is to fill a sketchbook and then record and do a sketchbook flip on YouTube. So I started today with creating an illustration just of the new palette I made. So it was a lot of fun. It was pretty easy to do because I didn't have to think too much about it. So I have some tips that I have just started using for myself that I just came up with. I know other people have probably said this, and but it was an epiphany, and it's just I have all these sketchbooks, never filled any. I've maybe done a page or two in each one, and I want to fill one. So, and I also want to up my drawing skills. So what I'm going to do is every day at least. I mean, I'm not going to upload videos every day, but my goal is to upload one at least once a week, maybe more. We'll see what happens of me filling up this sketchbook. So again, if you want to follow along, that would be awesome and so much fun. And then you'll have a finished sketchbook too. So if you're like me and you've never filled one or you want to, it'll be a fun little community, I think. So anyway, so a couple practices I've already realized that I had to let go of and then to implement new things are I would sit there and I would just overthink what to draw. So today I overcame that simply by drawing my art supplies because they were right there, and I'm pretty excited about my new palette, so it was fun to paint it. And then another thing that got me excited to create was a book called Sketching People by Lynne Chapman. And in that, she shows you like using different materials and doing different styles. So that got me super motivated because then I wanted to try using different materials and use a different style, do different art styles, you know, and maybe sometimes realistic, maybe sometimes more cartoon, maybe sometimes just more sketchy. And then using the different materials, I'll probably use a lot of watercolor always because it's my favorite, but just using the brush pen, maybe using like colored pencils, watercolor colored pencils, microns, because I have tons of microns. I barely ever use them, but I do really like them, actually. I like micron pens quite a bit. And then just things like that. Use crayons, all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to fill up the sketchbook, and then some of my other goals that are helping keep me inspired is I want to learn to draw people more in a quick way, like if I was out at a coffee shop or something like that. So not as detailed. So I think that's going to help me loosen up my art a lot. So just, and then drawing things that I normally don't like to draw. So like in one of my last videos, I was talking about how I don't like to draw teeth, I don't like to draw hands, but because I'm drawing what's in front of me, I am just going to have to get over that and draw everything. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I practice meditation and mindfulness a lot, and so drawing goes hand in hand with that, in my opinion, and I just want to incorporate it more in my life. So doing the sketchbook is very exciting, and I sit there and I watch videos of people doing their sketchbook flips, and I always want to have one. So I thought, you know what? I would feel very happy if I did that, so I'm just going to do that. And that's where that came from. And I would just feel a lot happier. I have these sketchbooks sitting here if I fill them up. So that's where I'm going to start. And then I'll have some videos. And if in the comments below, let me know if there's anything you want to cover. I will probably cover some stuff about finding inspiration, some drawing tips, and then a little bit of basic watercolor stuff, but you can find a lot of that here on YouTube too. So if you have any specific questions for me about that, then let me know and I'll cover that. And so other than that, I'm just going to fill this sketchbook. So fill that sketchbook is the goal, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I had tons of fun creating this page. So I didn't really have a plan, and I didn't have a layout plan. So that's another thing I want to learn is like composition and layouts for sketchbooks and just for, you know, illustrations in general. This I did intuitively. I just kept filling up the page. And I remember, I don't know who says this, but I think several people have made comment to this, is children are naturally great at composition. They will just fill that page up, and they don't worry about, you know, any of this other stuff. Now, there are rules to composition that are helpful, and I will use some of that too, you know, rule of thirds and different things like that. But I just, on this one, I did it intuitively like a child, and I felt like I was creating art like a child too. I just went in and I went for it. I didn't erase anything, you know, I went straight in with my micron pen, and I just went for it. I do not know how to do lettering. I just started writing, and this is, as I went along, I started getting ideas to do different things with shading and whatnot. So I just went for it. I didn't overthink it. I didn't think I was going to ruin the page, which is something I usually do. So I just lost that thought, and I just went for it. And I added some writing. And now, before this, I did go and look on Pinterest, and I have been doing this for a few days, just looking at urban sketchers and different people's sketchbooks. But I didn't have one up, so I'm sure that it's somewhere in my back in my consciousness, you know, where I've seen things, so I have gotten a lot of ideas. But I wasn't looking at anything when I did this, so I just went for it. But I did see, you know, a lot of people, I like how they do the writing maybe sideways or just to fill the space, and how they'll move it around and all that stuff. So that did come to mind when I was doing this, which was super helpful and a lot of fun. So, and then these little phrases just came to me now. I was listening to Mozart while I painted. I heard listening to Mozart in particular. It's very good for creativity. So I just turned that on and listened and went for it. So this is the page and how it came out. So what I'm using for this challenge is a Handbook Journal Company watercolor album, and it is 60 pages. So I'm hoping to fill it before the end of the year, and then maybe on New Year's or something we can get to do the fun flip through. I think that would be a great way to start the year. But we'll see what happens. So, but I'm just committing to finishing and filling it up. So I'm committing to drawing every day, and then posting a video at least weekly. So you can count on me for that. And if you want to follow along, you can find the information in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. I would love it if you did comment below to let me know you're participating too, so I can follow along with you. Thanks so much for stopping by, and if anything comes to your mind that you'd like to talk about, or if you have any tips or tricks, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much, and happy drawing!